श्रीमदकन्या श्रीविजयी भव श्रीविद्याधरि राधसुरेख श्रीरागीधर श्रीपादा जय विजयी भव जय.
Om Sai Ram everyone. Today we're going to take you to a very, very divine place, Pithapuram. It is the birthplace of Sripada Srivallabha. And before we talk about Srivallabha, I would like to talk about Lord Dattatreya, because Sripada Srivallabha is one of the incarnation of Dattatreya only. So Lord Dattatreya had 5 avatars in the Kali Yuga. So the first was Sripada Srivallabha, second is Narasimha Saraswati, third is Manik Prabhu Maharaj, fourth is Akkalkot Swami, he is also known as Swami Samarth of Akkalkot, and fifth is our Sri Sai Baba of Shirdi. So all these avatars, as we know that they take place, the incarnation happen for the betterment of the humankind. They just deliver to the humankind, to the mankind in one way or the other. So Lord Dattatreya is the son of rishi Atri and Ma Anusaya. So so how Lord Datta took this avatar? So once what happened is Rishi Atri went out for the morning ablutions and Ma Anusaya was alone at home. Ma Anusaya was a very divine, pious, religious and devoted soul. Because of her devotion and bhakti, she had got divine powers as well. So when all the deities like Indra and all saw her bhakti and devotion, they got scared that probably they may lose importance and Anusaya will kind of become the main deity and all. So because the devotion was very strong, and once so happened that Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, they all wanted to test Anusaya, and it is said that they came to put in fact a blemish on the chastity of this pious lady. So they all came in the form of sage and saints, and they visited her house, and because they were saint, and they asked for food. So and Anusaya came, and she said, yeah, please come in, and she wanted to offer food, but they put a condition over it. All 3 of them, they said that you can only serve us food naked, like without clothes you have to serve us food. So that is our condition. And at that time it was actually a tradition that you cannot turn back any visitor. I mean, sages are the most religious ones, but you cannot in fact turn away any visitor who is asking for food at your gate. So you are ought to serve the food to anybody who is asking for it. So this was the old tradition. So Anusaya was in a fix, and she was thinking that what needs to be done, but she still called all of them inside the house for food, and she left all the worries at God's feet. So what happened, she went into the kitchen and she wholeheartedly prayed to her husband, because she was such a religious lady. She just prayed to her husband that please take me through this situation. And when she went out to serve food naked, what she saw that all the 3 Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, the sages, they turned into small infants, babies. So then she could easily breastfeed them, and that was such a divine leela. She fed them all, and then when rishi Atri came back home, he immediately recognized all three as Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, uh, and he uh, prostrated, and then Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, they were so happy with the bhakti and devotion of this beautiful couple. They asked that, why don't you ask for a boon? We really want to give you. We are so happy with it, with your seva and devotion. Then the couple, because they didn't have any child, they just asked for a child, but they wanted God only to become their child. So they said, all three of you become our child, and real child. So Dattatreya was formed, the three-faced God, which is Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh together. So the couple got blessed, and Dattatreya was born as the three-faced God. Now coming back to Pithapuram. Pithapuram is in Andhra Pradesh. This temple is divine, and it's the energy here is very, very strong. All the palki, datta homa, and all sort of pujas are done here in the temple. If you look at the Sripada Srivallabha Charita, it was written by Sankar Bhatt, and there is also an Odamba tree where people offer coconuts to fulfill their wishes. So if you look at Dattatreya tradition, everywhere, there is a if you find a Dattatreya temple, you would also find an Odamba tree. The tree, this Odamba tree, actually signifies the presence of Dattatreya. So it's very, very auspicious, and so people offer coconuts here to fulfill their vows and wishes and all that. Tembe Swami, if you have heard, Tembe Swami, his mention is there in the Sai Satcharita as well. Tembe Swami used to come here as well, and he he had a very divine vision once. He had Jnana Drishti, wherein he saw the Padukas, the original Padukas of Sripada Srivallabha. Then Sripada Srivallabha came into his dream and told him that you don't worry about this. The right person will come and take care of the Padukas. So you don't need to do anything about it. So he also had a very he also was a very divine soul. He visited this place, and if you look inside the sanctorum, you would see Sripad Sri Vallabha on the extreme left, Dattatreya is in the center, and on your right you would see Narsimha Saraswati ji. So they do Paduka's Abhishek, or the Lord's feet Abhishek, from morning 5 to 6 a.m. in this temple. And also you would find an Annadan counter where the food is served in the afternoon as well as in the night. Also there is this palki that happens, that starts at night 7 p.m. And if you now come about 100 meters from the temple, you would see an arch there, and there are so many rooms for meditation that you would find. So if you go inside, you would see a lot of rooms there for meditation. And there is also an Odamba tree here. So there is this house which is said to be of Sripada Sri Vallabha grandfather or maybe father. So we don't know the actuality of it. We don't know whether this is true, but it is said that here the grandpa or the father used to reside here. So this is how it is being mentioned here. There is also one very important and divine place which you should not miss once you are here, and this is the Kukuteshwara temple. So the Lord Shiva, Ma Parvati, and Dattatreya are the residing deities here. Now the most important part and the divine part of this temple is that all three all three deities are swayambhu here. That means the statues or the pratimas of all these three deities, they are not installed by man, so they are just uh, divinely present there. So it is swayambhu, all three of them. So Shiva, Ma Parvati and Dattatreya. So this is such a divine place, and most recommended for the people of who follow Dattatreya. They should definitely come on, at this place. The energy here is super strong, and we felt that this place is so similar to Kashi, where we offer to our ancestors. The offerings are done to the ancestors. So this is similar to that place. You can actually offer make offerings to your ancestors here, and they are accepted beautifully in this place. Sripada Srivallabha also visited this place, and this place is amongst one of the Shakti Pithas. So this is a must visit. This is a Shakti Pitha, the Kukuteshwara temple, and we would. So this now ends um the tour, and many thanks for listening. Om Sai Ram.